Today is the alphabet O, and it's O for Om, probably the most universally known sound, chant, mantra that we know of from all over Asia, Southeast Asia, and South Asia, of course. So Om is much more of a sound and a syllable than it is an alphabet or a word, yet it is all of these and much more. Officially, it is A, U, and M, the three alphabets, the three letters, the three phonemes brought together to make the sound Om. But it is much, much more than that. It is virtually an individual alphabet by itself, even though it is a very composite alphabet. It has a very, very interesting story. It is the most sacred chant all over South Asia and in Nepal, China, Mongolia, Tibet, Japan, the whole of Southeast Asia, Indonesia, to mention just a few places. And of course, today, with the popularity of yoga, Om is one of the most popular chants all over the known world. It is a sacred sound, to be very precise, and is supposed to symbolize the essence of Atman, the ultimate reality. It's also supposed to be Atman and Brahman. It is sacred to Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, and Sikhs as a symbol. It's part of the iconography found in various ancient and medieval manuscripts. So many manuscripts will begin with the word Om. It is virtually an invocation. It means things like, behold, let it be seen, let it be observed. It is thus, okay? So many different meanings and connotations are kind of implied by the word Om. And as I said, it is a very, very sacred word. In Hinduism, basically, it represents the Atman and the Brahman, and thus it represents everything. The individual Atman and the collective Brahman make up the whole universe. The Chandogya Upanishad, one of the oldest Upanishadic texts, calls it a chant or a song. It does not call it a word or a syllable or an alphabet. It says that Om is a chant or a song. It is used as the prefix to the chanting of every mantra. So Om is the beginning of all mantras. For example, Om Bhu Bhuva Swaha, the beginning of the Gayatri mantra. So the Om added over there. Om, it says, is the child of speech and breath. It's a beautiful way of explaining it. And it says that it is the highest song possible. It is also supposedly the conflict between the Devas and the Asuras. And the Upanishadic texts have all kinds of very interesting meanings that they attribute, but all of them agree that it ultimately symbolizes the Atman and the Brahman. In the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna is speaking to Arjuna on the field of battle, before battle is engaged in what we call the Bhagavad Gita, okay, he says that I am bigger than the biggest, I'm smaller than the smallest, I am everywhere, I am nowhere, I am Om. He describes himself as the syllable Om, as being all pervasive and everywhere. The Shiv Puran, on the other hand, tells us that Shiva is Om and Om is Shiva. Om Namaha Shiva. So Om Namaha Shivaya is basically Om is the name of Shiva or Om in the name of Shiva. Depending, there are multiple ways of seeing this over time as this chant takes on different meanings. In Buddhism, perhaps the most famous chant embodying Buddhism is Om Mani Padme Hum. Very simply translated into English, it means behold the jewel in the lotus. And in translating it that way, you perhaps lose the complete essence of the term Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum symbolizes the literal embodiment of the Avalokiteshvara, and it represents the entire core teaching of Buddhism, according to the Buddhists. The Jains have their own symbol for Om, which is slightly different. And they tell you that it is an invocation of the 5 Parameshthis. Okay, so Arihant, Ashiri, Acharya, Upajaya, and Muni. So A-U-M, U-M, Om. Okay, Om Namo Sindhanam is the Navkar mantra of Jainism. It is also called the Pancha Namaskaram, and it is seen right at the Hathigumpha inscription. When the Hathigumpha inscription of Kharavela starts, it starts by telling us exactly this, you know. I bow to the Arihants, I bow to the sages, I bow to the Acharyas, I bow to the Upajayas, I bow to the Munis. And That is how old this terminology is, at least for the Jains, if not much, much older. In Sikhism too, it has its own important place. And in the Gurmukhi script also, it has its own specific designation, denomination, alphabet, if you'd like to call it. It says it is basically the credo of Sikhism, Ek Onkara, which says that there is only one God, which is talking about the singularity of the plurality and the plurality of the singularity, where it is saying in the Mula Mantra that there are so many deities, yet the deity is one. There is one deity, yet it is worshipped in so many different forms. It's seen all across the whole of Asia. It is part of virtually every single Asian script, as we're going to see in the next slide, which, by the way, is a cut paste from Wikipedia before you ask me. And it's engraved, incised, written, carved, spoken, tattooed, woven, printed, and painted all across the world. So it is a very, very pervasive symbol. It is a symbol now that is recognizable almost in any part of the world, and is probably, along with the cross of the Christians, one of the most well-known symbols on the planet today. The Qatar Upanishad makes it an all-encompassing symbol, and this is something that I wanted to put here and I wanted to read out to you all. The Qatar Upanishad says, the word which all the Vedas proclaim, that which is expressed in every tapas, that for which they live the life of a brahmachari. Understand that word in its essence. Om, that is the word. Yes, this syllable is Brahman. This syllable is the highest. He who knows that syllable, whatever he desires is his. So this is the importance of uttering the word Om. And of course, as I said, it is the basic chant of all of those meditating Munis, Veds, so on and so forth. This is just to give you an idea of the different expressions of the symbol itself. Devanagari, Gurmukhi, Sharda, Siddham, Bengali, Oriya, Grantha from South India, Trihuta, Modi, Takri, Kannada, Prakalit, Ranjana script, Maithimayak, and of course the Jain symbol. The Arya Samaj actually writes it as Om. Okay, it's there in Telugu, it's there in Tamil, it's there in Lepcha, Malayalam, Sinhala, Chinese. The Thais have it, the Mongolians have it in different scripts, the Burmese have it, the Japanese have it. It's there in Lao, it's there in Cham in Vietnam. The Khmer and the Thai actually have a very, very interesting take on it. If you look carefully over here, these are very similar but slightly different. This is the Thai Om symbol as versus the Thai Om word. So this is the word Om in Thai, in Siamese, and this is the symbol. And it's known as Om Unalom or as Khomut. And this is the Khmer sacred symbol, and of course they're neighbors, and it is very similar. This one is very popularly tattooed traditionally and is very, very much a part of Khmer faith in having it tattooed on your body. And of course, you have this beautiful Khmer representation that you see here, which we see on statues of the Khmer. And of course, we have it in Javanese and in Balinese also. So all over South Asia, Japan, China, Mongolia, Tibet, Korea, the whole of Southeast Asia and the whole of South Asia, this is a very, very well-known symbol. It's also anthropomorphized in many ways. The deity Ganesha, Om Ganeshaya Namaha, and Ganesha is very easily transformed. The Om is very easily transformed into a Ganesha image, and it has its own adherents, followers, and there are vast numbers of these Ganesha-shaped Oms or Om-shaped Ganeshas, depending on which you'd like. You have the Om Namah Shivaya, very, very often shown with the Om and the Trishula and the Damru. In southern India, you have the beautiful Tamil Om shown with the Veli of Skanda, Murugan, etc. You also have it in jeweled form and in so many other ways. This is the Tibetan Om and the Tibetan inscription Om Mani Padme Hum. And as I said, it embodies the Avalokiteshvara, and everything that the Avalokiteshvara stands for. You have the Jain Om. This is the Jain Om on the left-hand side. And according to Jainism, this is what it's broken into. The three Ers, the U and the Ma, which is the Ashiri, the Arihant, the Acharya, the Upadhyaya, and the Muni. And therefore, it makes the sound Om. And you have the the Naukar mantra, which is Om Ariyantanam, Om Siddhanam, so on and so forth. And this is again the very basis and the very basic worship and tenets of Jainism encompassed in a single symbol. You then have the Ek Omkar symbol of the Sikhs, and this is again seen in large numbers. At the risk of offending some people, I will say that this is virtually used instead of an image of God. Since there is no image of God in Sikhism, this is used as an image to concentrate one's faith, one's worship, and one's prayers upon. Again, it is very, very popular. You will see it on cars, you will see it on buildings. Of course, you will see it in gurudwaras, you will see it on flags. You will see a lot of tattoos of this also, and there have been a number of controversies, even though there is nothing that says that you cannot tattoo this on your body, but people have taken umbrage at different times on it. As you go into Southeast Asia, you see beautiful carvings, and you see the Om Mani Padme Hum in Tibetan carved on rocks and placed at religious places. You see this beautifully on the left-hand side over here. You see the Om on a Khmer statue, probably of the Buddha, but according to some people of Shiva. And you see the Khmer Om on top on his jatas. You see the Balinese Om on the Balinese flags, which you will see all over Bali. And of course, this is something that is perhaps the most amazing. This is the actual physical embodiment of the sound Om. It starts from the right and ends on the left. These are the famous Neo statues of Japan. And the open mouth is the beginning of the sound Om. And the closed mouth on the left-hand side is the end of the sound Om. So from beginning to end, these two statues are the physical embodiment of the sound Om itself. You have all kinds of the most amazing tattoos that you will see of the Om in a frame with letters around it, artistically designed, as a cutaway showing you the Buddha through it, as you see on the top right. In the center, you have the Ek Omkar tattoo. And it is, again, a very, very popular tattoo all over the world. You will see it in Thailand, you will see it in Bali, you will see it in India. Now, again, in India, it's becoming quite popular. And as I said, you will see this one very specifically in Cambodia, singly or in multiples. You will also see Om as part of garments, as part of bags. So these shirts and kurtas are very, very popular. You will see it on all kinds of different bags, tote bags, handbags, haversacks also today. And you will also see Om as tiles. You will see it as keychain holders. You will see it as mosaics. You will see Om as keychains, as jewelry, so on and so forth. So in all parts of life and everywhere, this is now a very, very all-pervasive, very popular symbol of Hinduism, and not just of Hinduism, but of India itself, and of the Indic thought, and of Indic philosophy, and of Buddhist philosophy, and Jain philosophy, and Sikh philosophy, as it has moved across Asia, and is now, well, very strongly moving into the West. So thank you very much for being with us for Om. The INSTUCEN Summer School is on. And as I keep saying, you'll never get this much for this little. It's just 500 rupees for 3 months of access to all our videos that we've put up on our site. For students, there is a special discount of just 200 rupees for 3 months of access, and you can access it at your leisure. Do follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and of course on LinkedIn. And do click the subscribe icon, do click the like icon, and do spread the word about what we are doing. Tomorrow is the alphabet P, and it is P for Parvati, and I look forward to seeing you all. Thank you very, very much. Take care and be safe.